23rd December 2430. The galaxy was a vast, dangerous place. Empires and civilizations, each with their own agendas, competed for dominance. The Threxians, a race of highly advanced, war-hardened aliens, had established themselves as one of the most powerful forces in the galaxy. Their ships were larger than cities, their weapons capable of destroying entire worlds. No one dared challenge them now. General Kale, Vorath of the Threxian Empire, paced back and forth in the command center aboard the Dread Star, the flagship of their fleet. His tall frame cast a long shadow across the polished floor, his deep red skin glowing faintly under the dim light of the war room. His sharp reptilian eyes were fixed on the holographic map of the galaxy, which showed Earth on the far edge, a small, insignificant blue dot in the corner of the system. Emperor Thrax, we have reviewed all the data, Kale said, bowing slightly before his ruler, a towering figure seated on a throne made of dark metal. The Emperor, an ancient being with eyes like burning coals, nodded slowly, his face unreadable. Earth is no threat. It has no significant technology, no advanced weaponry, and certainly no defense system capable of stopping us. The Emperor's voice echoed through the room, cold and commanding. Then it is decided. The Threxian Empire will claim Earth for its own. Its resources will be absorbed into our vast empire, and its people will bow to our rule. Kale's face darkened, but he remained composed. It will be an easy conquest, my Emperor. We will crush them quickly, and Earth will be ours within days. The Emperor's eyes flickered with dark amusement. I trust you, General, but do not underestimate Earth's inhabitants. It is often the most insignificant of worlds that hold the greatest secrets. We cannot afford to be careless. Understood, Emperor, Kale replied. He turned to the other officers in the room, all waiting for his orders. The plan was simple. A full-scale invasion. Earth's defense systems were practically non-existent, or so the Threxians had believed. As the Threxian fleet prepared to set its course for Earth, the general's mind began to wander. He had studied the galaxy for decades, and he knew every empire, every species, and every piece of territory in the known universe. Earth had always been dismissed as a primitive, backwater planet, a place where humans fought among themselves, barely advanced enough to leave their atmosphere. And yet, there was something about Earth that intrigued him. He had heard rumors, whispers from the Empire's intelligence division. They spoke of strange phenomenon-explained anomalies in Earth's energy signatures, subtle disruptions in the fabric of space-time. But none of these reports were concrete, and all of them had been dismissed as irrelevant. Are you certain the information is accurate? Kale asked one of his officers, a younger Threxian named Villaris, who had been tasked with analyzing Earth's defenses. Villaris adjusted his glasses, scanning the data on his screen. Yes, General. There are no significant threats. The humans are still using outdated technology. Their military is weak, and their space stations are primitive at best. There is nothing to suggest they possess anything even remotely capable of resisting us. Kale's gaze lingered on Earth's image on the holographic map. The planet seemed so fragile, so defenseless. It was hard to believe that this tiny speck of dust could be anything more than a quick conquest. The Empire had destroyed countless civilizations in the past, their fleets sweeping across the stars like storms, leaving only ashes in their wake. And yet, the general couldn't shake the feeling that Earth was different. He couldn't explain why, but something gnawed at him, something deep inside. Was it the reports of the strange energy readings, Or was it the nagging voice in his head warning him that this was no ordinary mission? "General, the fleet is ready," Villaris said, interrupting Cale's thoughts. "We can depart at once." Cale took a deep breath, pushing aside his doubts. "Proceed. Earth will fall just as every other world has before it." The Threxian fleet, led by the Dread Star, began its journey toward Earth. It moved at an astonishing speed, leaving a trail of shimmering stardust in its wake. As they neared the solar system, Cale stood at the helm of the Dread Star, watching. The images of Earth grow larger on the viewing screen. He could see the planet's oceans, its clouds, and its land masses, clearly now an innocent world, unaware of the destruction heading its way. "Prepare the invasion forces," Cale ordered. "Our first target will be their capital. We will strike fast and hard." The fleet entered Earth's atmosphere with the precision of a well-rehearsed plan. The Threxians deployed their advanced weapons and ships, ready to crush any resistance that might arise. Cale's mind was focused. The invasion would be swift. The humans had no chance. But as he observed Earth's surface, a flicker of movement caught his attention. "What's that?" he muttered under his breath. His officer quickly ran calculations. "There's an energy surge coming from the planet's surface, General. It's unexpected, powerful, but brief." Cale raised an eyebrow, but dismissed it as a mere anomaly. "Don't waste time on distractions. Earth's fate is sealed." But deep down, a small voice whispered in the back of Cale's mind, reminding him that not even the most powerful forces in the galaxy could be certain of victory when they underestimated their enemies. As the invasion began, Earth's skies darkened with the arrival of the Threxian fleet. Cities across the world braced for impact, and the Threxians launched their first strikes against Earth's defenses. Cale's heart raced with anticipation. The battle for Earth had begun, and the general was convinced it would be over before the humans even knew what had hit them. But little did he know, Earth had a hidden strength, one that even the Threxians couldn't anticipate. Earth was far more dangerous than anyone realized, and the Threxians' mistake would soon become their downfall. Asterisk, the Threxian fleet had arrived, its shadow casting a dark veil over Earth. The first waves of energy blasts rained down, striking Earth's cities. With precision, the Threxians had expected an easy victory, one that would be over in hours, maybe even minutes. But as the attacks hit their targets, something strange began to happen. Instead of the expected devastation, the energy beams from the Threxian ships flickered and sputtered. Some stopped mid-air, others simply disintegrated before hitting their marks. On Earth's surface, there were flashes of light shimmering, almost invisible, like an unseen force field absorbing the strikes. General Cale Vorath stared at his monitor in disbelief. "What is this? Their shields should not be capable of this kind of resistance." Villaris, standing by his side, quickly ran calculations. "It's impossible, General. Their systems aren't supposed to have energy output this strong. The readings show spikes in energy levels coming from beneath the surface. It's almost as if they're generating a field from within the planet itself." Cale's lips curled into a frustrated snarl. "What do you mean, generating from within the planet? Earth doesn't have this kind of technology. Their military is still stuck in the Stone Ages compared to ours. There must be an explanation for this ... malfunction." Cale's confidence was beginning to waver. Earth's primitive defenses were supposed to be laughable, not something capable of deflecting the might of the Threxian fleet. He turned to his fleet officers, his voice icy. Increase power to the weapons and target their capital. Nothing else matters now. On Earth, President Kira Thorne stood in the emergency command center, her eyes glued to the screens showing the incoming attacks. As she watched the Threxian fleet unleash wave after wave of destruction, a strange calm settled over her. It wasn't fear she felt, it was anticipation. She had known this day would come. Humanity had been preparing for it, quietly, in secret, for decades. Beneath Earth's surface, in bunkers hidden from the prying eyes of foreign invaders, scientists and engineers had worked tirelessly on a project so secret it had been known by only a handful of people. This project was Earth's last hopper, defense system that no one, not even the most advanced alien race, could have predicted. Kira turned to her lead scientist, Dr. Oliver Carver, who was overseeing the activation of Earth's emergency defense protocols. Is it ready? Dr. Carver nodded solemnly, his fingers flying across the touchscreen. It's been ready for years, but the Threxians are more powerful than we anticipated. We need to activate the core defense now, or it might be too late. Kira clenched her fists, her jaws set in determination. Activate it. A low hum filled the command center as Earth's hidden defense system began to power up. The planet's deep core, shielded from alien detection for centuries, was now pulsing with energy. Ancient systems that had long been dormant were waking, ancient technology from a forgotten time, designed not just to protect Earth from invaders, but to neutralize any threat with absolute precision. Back in the skies, the Threxian fleet grew, impatient. The general had already ordered several more rounds of attacks, but Earth's defenses were absorbing them all. What Kale had dismissed as a minor anomaly was now becoming a serious problem. I've never seen anything like this, Kale muttered, his hand tightening around the armrest of his command chair. They should be broken by now. He turned to Valeris, his eyes hardening. Find their weakness, now. Valeris tapped furiously at his console, trying to crack Earth's defense codes, but his efforts were in vain. There's no vulnerability, General. It's unlike anything we've encountered. These defenses are ... adapting. They're evolving. What? Kale's voice was a low growl. That's impossible. It's just a primitive world. But Kale's words lacked conviction. Deep down, he knew that Earth wasn't what it appeared to be. There was something hidden beneath the surface, something far more powerful than they had ever imagined. On Earth, President Kira and her team watched as the Threxian fleet's energy attacks continued to falter, becoming weaker and more ineffective by the minute. The planetary defense systems, powered by Earth's core, had begun to generate massive energy pulses, rippling outward like waves in a pond, neutralizing the enemy's attacks with ease. Each pulse from Earth's defenses caused a Threxian ship to lose power, their shields flickering and failing. Some ships even began to break apart from the sheer force of the energy waves. We've breached their main shields, Dr. Carver reported, his voice filled with awe. The energy field is destabilizing their ships. Their weapons are losing power. Kira allowed herself a small smile, but there was no time to celebrate. The battle had only just begun, and while Earth had gained the upper hand, the Threxians would surely escalate their efforts. They were not a race known for retreating easily. We need to prepare for a counterattack, Kira said, her voice steady. If they can't break through our defenses, they'll likely try a ground assault. We need to be ready for everything. Meanwhile, on the Dreadstar, Kale's frustration grew as he watched the Earth defenses dismantle his fleet. Ships were being taken down one by one, their advanced technology no match for the planet's secret weapons. "We must retreat," Kale growled. "Send a full message to the Emperor. Earth is not an easy target." But before he could give the order, a new report came in from his intelligence officers. "General, we're detecting a massive energy buildup from below the surface. It's coming from Earth's core. The power is unlike anything we've ever seen." Kale's eyes widened. "What is this planet hiding? They are not as primitive as we thought. Prepare for full withdrawal. We are no longer the hunters. Earth is the prey." As the Threxian fleet began to retreat, Earth's defense system continued to emit waves of energy, weakening the invaders' hold on the battle. The tables had turned, and the invaders were now the ones running scared. But for Kira and her team, this victory was only a small part of the greater war ahead. The Threxians may have underestimated Earth, but now they knew the truth. The Earth was not the helpless world they thought it was, and the galaxy would soon learn that no one, not even the mightiest of alien races, could easily conquer Earth. The first encounter, the Threxian fleet, battered and bruised, retreated into the blackness of space, leaving Earth's skies eerily silent. General Kale Vorath stared out from the Dreadstar's command deck, his eyes focused on the planet below. The once proud fleet, now a shadow of its former strength, drifted in the vacuum of space, each ship struggling to maintain its systems, as Earth's mysterious energy waves continued to disrupt their technology. General Villaris said, his voice breaking the silence, "Our sensors are showing that Earth's defense grid is still active. The planet's surface is buzzing with energy, unlike anything we've ever encountered." Kale's fists clenched. "I know. What we saw, Villaris. That's why I'm sending the ground troops. Earth may have outsmarted our ships, but they won't be able to defend against a full-scale assault on the ground." The general turned to face his officers, his mind racing with anger. "Prepare for a planetary landing. Our fleet may have failed us, but we still have forces capable of taking Earth by force. We will bring them to their knees, starting with their leadership." Meanwhile, on Earth, President Kira Thorne sat in the war room, watching the live feed of the Threxian fleet's retreat. Despite the victory, there was no time to relax. She knew the enemy wasn't finished yet. This was only the beginning. Kira turned to General Ezra Hawk, who was watching the monitors closely. "They'll send ground forces next. We've barely scratched the surface of this fight. We need to be ready." Hawk nodded gravely. "We've fortified key areas, but Earth's real strength lies in its unpredictability. Our technology is advanced, but the Threxians aren't going to stop. Their pride won't allow them to. The next phase of this war could be even worse." A soft beeping sound interrupted them. It was a transmission from Earth's underground military intelligence network. "President Thorne, General Hawk," a voice crackled over the speaker. "We've detected Threxian troops preparing to land in the northern hemisphere. They're deploying ground units in full force." Kira's expression hardened. "I knew they wouldn't stay down for long. All units are on high alert. We're not just defending Earth, we're ensuring that our people know that we are capable of standing our ground no matter who comes after us." Back in space, General Kale Vorath's fleet began its descent into Earth's atmosphere. The Dreadstar, despite its damage, led the charge, carrying the Threxian ground forces down toward Earth's surface. Their landing was set for the heart of Earth's most strategic cities. where they could cripple the planet's leadership and send a message to the galaxy that Earth's defiance would not be tolerated. As the Threxian warships began to break through the atmosphere, Kale's heart pounded with a mix of frustration and determination. His fleet had faltered, but now, on the surface, they would show Earth what it meant to face the full might of the Threxian Empire. "We will make them regret their decision," Kale muttered, watching the clouds swirl beneath the ships. "They will bend to our will. They will learn that no planet, not even one that dares to defy us, is safe." As the Threxian ships touched down, the ground trembled beneath the massive weight of their landing. The roar of the engines echoed through the valleys and mountains, causing tremors that rattled nearby cities. From Earth's defense centers, satellite images displayed thousands of armored Threxian soldiers pouring out of their ships, their weapons gleaming in the sunlight. President Kira Thorne and General Hawk watched the feed in silence. It was clear that this was a decisive moment. The battle would not be won in space, not this time. The fate of Earth rested in its ability to fight back on its own soil. "The invasion has begun," Kira said, her voice calm but firm. "We've prepared, but this will test everything we've built. General, initiate Phase 2 of the defense." "Protocol." Hawk gave her a sharp nod. "All ground units are on standby. The first wave will hold the line in the cities, while the second wave targets the Threxian ground units." As the Threxian forces spread out across Earth's terrain, Earth's defense forces launched their own counterattack. The first ground battle unfolded with astonishing speed, as Earth's military forces engaged the alien invaders with guerrilla tactics. The Threxians, despite their technological superiority, were forced to adapt to the unpredictability of Earth's terrain, which provided cover and opportunities for surprise strikes. On the front lines, the Threxians were surprised by the ferocity of Earth's resistance. The alien soldiers, though technologically advanced, were used to overwhelming their enemies with superior firepower. But Earth's soldiers, using improvised weapons and tactics, fought back fiercely, each victory giving them more hope. Kale observed the battle from his command center, frustration boiling in his chest. "How are they holding their ground?" he demanded. "These humans are far from helpless." Villaris stood beside him, scanning the battlefield. "It's their resourcefulness, General. They've adapted faster than we expected. Their leadership is using unconventional tactics. We can't predict their moves. They're everywhere and nowhere at the same time." Kale gritted his teeth. "Then we'll force them into submission. Increase the pressure. Bring down more troops. We won't stop until Earth is under our control." On Earth, Kira addressed her people once more, her voice carrying the weight of leadership. "The Threxians have come to our world, thinking that we would bow to their might. But we've shown them something they didn't expect: our strength, our will to survive, and our ability to fight. We will stand, and we will make them regret ever thinking Earth was a place they could conquer." The world watched as Earth's forces continued to engage the Threxians on the ground. Each battle fought, each victory earned, only solidified Earth's resolve. Despite the overwhelming power of the invaders, Earth had something they couldn't defeat: its people's refusal to give up. As the conflict raged on, the Threxian fleet, still lingering in orbit, prepared for its next move. General Kale knew the ground forces were crucial, but the stakes were higher than ever. Earth's unyielding defense had taken them by surprise. But now the question remained: could they finally crush Earth's resistance and claim victory, or would Earth's determination break the will of the Threxian Empire? The sky above Earth's surface had become a battlefield, a place where the fate of a planet hung in the balance. The Threxians had underestimated Earth's will to fight, and now they were paying the price. In space, the dread star hovered above Earth's atmosphere, its crew looking down upon the chaos unfolding below. General Kale Vorath had anticipated a quick victory, a mere formality in their quest to expand the Empire. But now, as his forces struggled to gain any real ground, the reality began to settle in. Kale stood in his command center, his fists clenched, his mind racing. The battle had shifted from being an invasion to something far more complicated. Earth wasn't just defending its cities. It was outsmarting the Threxians at every turn. Earth's resistance had become more than just a series of skirmishes, had become a symbol of defiance. A signal to the galaxy that no empire was untouchable. "General, the reports are in," Villares said, his voice tense as he studied the latest data. "Our forces are being outflanked. We're losing territory. Their guerrilla tactics are tearing through our supply lines." Kale turned to face his officer, his eyes narrowing in frustration. "This cannot be happening. We're the Threxian Empire. We don't lose." Villares hesitated before speaking again. "General, there's something else. The humans. They've activated some sort of ancient defense mechanism. It's beyond our understanding. It's like Earth is fighting with a power that we can't even begin to comprehend." Kale's mind raced. He had known that Earth had been underestimated by the Empire's higher-ups, but this was something else. There was something hidden beneath the surface, something ancient that was now waking up to defend its world. He could feel it in the air, the ominous presence of something bigger than just the battle between their forces, far below. On Earth's surface, President Kira Thorne watched the live reports from the front lines. Her hands gripped the edge of the table as the latest battle unfolded in real time. The Threxians had adjusted their strategies, and now Earth was facing their full might. But Kira was no longer concerned about their weapons or their technology. She had seen firsthand how Earth's ingenuity had held its own against the invaders. "We've been underestimated," Kira said quietly, her gaze fixed on the battlefield display. "But it's time to show them why they made a mistake." General Ezra Hawk approached, his face grim. "Kira, we've pushed them back time and time again, but the Threxians are relentless. They've sent in reinforcements, and they're starting to adapt to our tactics. We need to make a decision. We can't keep fighting this way forever." Kira nodded, but her mind was already racing. "We need to give them something they haven't prepared for, something that will make them question their strategy." She turned to Hawk. "It's time to activate the core." The core, a hidden network of technology buried deep beneath Earth's surface, designed to be the planet's ultimate defense. It had been in development for centuries, a secret weapon that could shift the balance of power in the galaxy. It had remained dormant until now, a last line of defense against invaders who thought they could conquer Earth without consequence. Hawk looked at Kira, his eyes narrowing in understanding. "Are you sure? If we activate it, we risk everything. It could take us to a whole new level of power that even the Threxians might not be able to comprehend." "I'm sure," Kira said, her voice resolute. "We've fought for too long to lose now. Let's make them realize that Earth isn't just a planet to be conquered. It's a force that will change the galaxy." High above, in the dread star, General Kale stared at the live footage of Earth's cities. He knew the Threxians had lost their advantage, but what troubled him more was the feeling that something larger was at play. He had watched Earth's defenses evolve, with each passing hour, and it was beginning to feel like Earth had something beyond their ability to fight off. He turned sharply as his communications officer approached. "General, we've detected something, strange. Earth's energy readings have spiked. It's coming from deep within the planet." Kale's expression darkened. "What kind of energy?" "Unknown. It's unlike anything we've seen. It's as though the planet itself is fighting back." Kale's heart raced. The invaders had been overconfident, but now it seemed like Earth was tapping into something ancient and powerful, something that had been dormant for eons. He could feel the tension in the air, a shift that was beyond his control. "We need to launch everything we have at them," Kale growled. "We're not retreating. This planet will bow to the Threxian Empire." On Earth, President Q's voice echoed across the world as she activated the core. The ground beneath the Threxians' feet trembled, and a massive energy surge erupted from Earth's core, cascading outwards in waves that could be felt miles above the surface. It was as if Earth had awakened its very foundation now, a weapon capable of stopping the most powerful invaders. The Threxian fleet above Earth, already crippled from previous battles, found themselves facing a new kind of power. Their shields flickered out, their weapons began to malfunction, and their sensors went haywire. The massive energy pulse from Earth began to reverberate through space, shaking the Threxian ships to their very cores. "General, we can't hold this off," Villaris screamed, his voice filled with panic. "This power, it's too much." Kale's gaze hardened as he watched his forces begin to crumble. The Empire's technology, once thought to be invincible, was now being undone by the very planet they had underestimated. "The humans. They're not just defending themselves," Kale muttered, his voice a whisper of disbelief. "They're using the planet itself to fight back." As Earth's defenses intensified, the Threxians were forced to retreat once more. But this time, it was different. They hadn't just lost a battle, they had realized something profound. Earth was no longer the weak, primitive world they had thought it to be. It was a planet of unimaginable power, one that had only just begun to reveal its true strength. Kale stood on the bridge of the Dread Star, watching the retreating Threxian fleet. He knew this wasn't the end. But one thing was clear: Earth would never again be seen as an easy target. They had awakened a force that could never be ignored. Asterisk the unexpected advantage. The retreat of the Threxian fleet had been swift, but not without cost. The once confident invaders, who had fought Earth would fall within days, now found themselves regrouping, questioning the assumptions that had led them to this point. The power emanating from Earth's core had disrupted their technology and crippled their fleet, leaving the Threxians scrambling to make sense of what had just happened. General Kale Vorath paced across the bridge of the Dread Star, his mind racing. "We've underestimated them," he muttered to himself. His gaze was fixed on the holographic display of Earth's surface, now calm after the fury of battle. It had only been hours since the first wave of the Threxian assault had begun, and already everything had shifted. Earth was no longer just a world on the edge of the galaxy. It was a planet with power that the Threxians couldn't ignore. His second-in-command stood nearby, tapping rapidly on a console, trying to regain control of their malfunctioning systems. "General, we've lost almost a third of our fleet. Their energy pulses are disrupting our systems, making it nearly impossible to fight back. If we continue this assault, we risk losing everything." Kale's face was grim. "We can't pull back now. If we retreat, the Empire will lose face. see us as weak. We have to break Earth's resistance, no matter the cost. But deep down, Kale knew the truth. They had never prepared for this. The Threxian Empire had conquered countless worlds, crushed advanced civilizations, and subjugated species across the galaxy. They had never met a planet like Earth-1 that fought back with such tenacity, such power hidden beneath its surface. "Send the signal to the fleet," Kale ordered. "We launch a full ground assault. This time, we take Earth's heart, the core of its defenses. Once we neutralize their energy source, their resistance will crumble." On Earth, President Kira Thorne stood in the command center, her eyes scanning the real-time footage from the front lines. Despite the earlier victories, she knew the war was far from over. The Threxians were regrouping, and their next move would be far more dangerous. "We've held them off so far," Kira said, turning to General Ezra Hawk, "but their ground forces are still coming. We've seen their ships retreating, but we know they won't stay down for long." Hawk nodded, his face hard. "The Threxians are relentless. They won't stop until they've claimed Earth or destroyed it in the process. We need to act fast. If they manage to breach our core defenses, everything we've worked for will be lost." Kira's eyes narrowed, her mind already moving ahead. "We've already shown them that we can hold our own in battle. But it's time we use Earth's greatest strength, its unpredictability. The Threxians are used to straightforward warfare. They expect us to fight them with brute force. But we've learned that we can't just outfight them, we need to outthink them." Kira turned to the tactical officers. "Activate the secondary defense systems. It's time to unleash the hidden weapons. Deep beneath Earth's surface, miles beneath the cities, Earth's secret military base hummed to life. The ancient systems designed to protect the planet from galactic invaders began to shift, activating massive underground turbines and energy generators that had remained dormant for centuries. Earth's hidden weapons, advanced technologies, built by civilizations long past, were now ready to be deployed at the same time. In orbit above Earth, Kale received troubling news. "General, we've detected a massive surge of energy coming from the planet's surface. It's more powerful than anything we've encountered." Villaris looked up, his eyes wide with disbelief. "It's coming from deep beneath the ground. They've activated something beyond our understanding." Kale's frustration deepened. How could they have such power hidden away, and we never detected it? Valeris swallowed hard. "General, this isn't just a defense system. It's a weapon that Earth has been hiding for centuries. We're facing something we've never prepared for." On Earth's surface, the ground began to tremble. The Threxian fleet, still hovering above, could see the rising energy pulses as they shot upward, breaking through Earth's atmosphere. A series of enormous beams of concentrated energy burst from the planet's core, striking the Threxian ships with devastating precision. Kale's eyes widened in shock. The energy beams pierced through the air, cutting through the Threxian ships. Shields like they were nothing. The impact sent shockwaves through their hulls, causing them to shudder and groan under the immense force. One by one, the ship's systems began to overload, and explosions rippled through the fleet. "We're losing control," Villaris screamed, scrambling to hold onto his console as the ship rocked. "The energy pulses there, too powerful. Our shields can't take it." Kale's heart raced as he watched his fleet disintegrate before his eyes. The situation had gone from bad to worse in mere moments. "We need to retreat," he barked. "Order the fleet to fall back, now." But it was too late. The Threxians, for the first time in centuries, were being forced to retreat from a planet they had arrogantly assumed they could crush without effort. Earth's hidden weapon was too powerful, and no amount of Threxian strength could overcome the planet's will to survive. Back on Earth, Kira's face hardened as she watched the energy waves continue to devastate the Threxian fleet. "This is our moment," she said, her voice calm but fierce. "We've shown them our strength, but we need to make sure they know Earth isn't just a planet to conquer. We're a force that can change the galaxy." General Hawks stepped forward. "We've won the battle in space, but they're still trying to break through on the ground. We need to secure our cities and ensure the Threxians can't regroup." Kira nodded. "We'll push them back. But first, we show them that Earth is not a place to be conquered. We're a force of nature, and they've just learned that lesson the hard way." The Threxian fleet continued to retreat, their pride shattered and their strategy in ruins. Earth had unleashed a power they never thought possible, and in doing so, had made the galaxy's most feared empire realize one undeniable truth. Earth was not a planet to be ignored, but the war was not over. The Threxians would return, and Earth would need to prepare for what was to come. As Kira gazed out over the world, she knew that this was just the beginning of a new era. Earth had proven its strength, but now it had to build a future where no one, not even the Threxian Empire, could challenge its place among the stars. The turning point. The Threxian retreat was in full swing, their ships scattering in every direction, desperately trying to escape Earth's relentless energy waves. General Kale Vorath, once the embodiment of Threxian pride, now stood at the command center of the Dread Star, watching as his fleet disintegrated under the might of Earth's hidden defenses. "I should have known," Kale muttered, clenching his fists. Earth wasn't just another planet. They've been hiding something far beyond what we've seen. Villares, his voice filled with disbelief, approached Kale's side. "General, we're facing something unprecedented. The energy pulses are coming from the very core of the planet. There's no way to counteract it. It's as if the planet itself is defending itself, as if it has a consciousness of its own." Kale's eyes narrowed, his mind racing. A consciousness? That's absurd. A planet cannot think. It's just a rock in space. Villaris looked at him with concern. "General, this isn't just about technology. Earth's defenses are something organic, something beyond our understanding. Their survival instincts are woven into the very fabric of their world." Kale took a deep breath, his frustration mounting. "Then we adapt. If Earth's planet is alive, we'll treat it like a living organism. We'll find its heart, and we'll destroy it." Meanwhile, on Earth, President Kira Thorne stood at the window of the war room, watching as the last of the Threxian ships fell back into the black void of space. Earth had won, but the cost was high. The battle had been intense, and even though Earth's defenses had prevailed, there was no time for celebration. Kira knew the Threxians would return. They always did. "We've shown them our strength," Kira said, her voice calm but filled with the weight of the situation. "But now we must prepare for what comes next. They'll be back, and this time, they'll come stronger. We can't afford to let our guard down." General Ezra Hawk stood by her side, his expression grim. "The Threxians won't just forget this defeat. They'll be planning their next move as we speak. But Earth has proven one thing: we can defend ourselves. We have a chance to shape the future, Kira. This is the moment to rise." Kira turned to face him, her eyes filled with determination. "We won't just defend ourselves. We'll make sure the galaxy knows that Earth isn't just a victim. We'll make them regret ever underestimating us. Up in space, Kale stood before his officers, his anger boiling over. The retreat was a disgrace, but his determination had not faltered. Earth had shown unexpected strength, but it was not invincible. The Threxians had faced defeats before, and they had always come back stronger. This time would be no different. "We will return," Kale declared, his voice hard. "This time, we will crush Earth's resistance. We will take their core, dismantle their defenses, and make them bow before the might of the Threxian Empire." Villaris, still shaken from the unexpected turn of events, nodded. "General, Earth's defenses are far more advanced than we anticipated. We will need more firepower to break through their planetary shield." Kale's eyes flashed with determination. "Then we bring everything. Earth's core is the key. Once we neutralize their power source, they'll have nothing left to defend." Themselves with back on Earth, Kira and General Hawk were preparing for the worst. They knew the Threxians would not give up so easily. But Earth had a new purpose. The victory had been crucial, but it had also shown them just how much power lay hidden beneath their feet. It was time to use that power, to unleash Earth's full potential in a way no one had ever imagined. "We've fought for survival," Kira said, pacing the room. "But now it's time to build something more. We've been living in the shadow of the galaxy's great empires for too long. It's time Earth made its mark." Hawk raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "You mean take the fight to them?" Kira's eyes gleamed with resolve. "Exactly. We won't just defend, we'll challenge them. The Threxians think they can rule the galaxy, but Earth will show them a different path. We'll take the fight to them, and we'll make sure no one ever forgets what Earth is capable of." As Earth's leaders began to make preparations for the next phase of their struggle, General Kale's fleet continued to regroup. The Threxians were not known for backing down, and their desire for domination burned stronger than ever. They had suffered a blow, but it had only fueled their need for revenge. The Threxian Empire was about to undergo a transformation. Kale knew that their next assault would be different. They would adapt, evolve, and become a far more dangerous threat to Earth. But Earth, too, was evolving. The hidden technology deep within the planet had been activated, and it was more than just a defense mechanism, was a warning to anyone who dared to challenge its will. Kale's mind raced as he thought about Earth's mysterious energy pulse. If the planet had hidden such power all this time, then what else did it have? What other secrets did Earth hold that could turn the tide of this war? As the days passed, the Threxian fleet slowly began to prepare for their return. The Emperor, who had watched Earth's victory with growing frustration, was now more determined than ever to bring Earth to its knees. His pride had been wounded, and nothing in the galaxy could stop him from exacting his revenge on the planet that had humiliated the Empire. But even as Kale and his fleet made their preparations, something else was unfolding on Earth. The planet's core had begun to pulse with greater frequency, its energy levels surging beyond anything even Earth's scientists had predicted. The deep Earth systems that had been activated had started to merge with Earth's natural resources, creating an energy source so powerful that it could change the very fabric of reality itself. Kira knew this power could be the key to victory. It could also be their greatest danger. With Earth's core now linked to the rest of the planet's resources, it was no longer just a weapon, it was a force of nature, capable of reshaping the destiny of the galaxy. Asterisk, the aftermath, a new beginning. The Threxian fleet, battered and broken, withdrew from Earth's orbit. Their forces, once filled with unwavering pride, now returned to the far reaches of space carrying with them the shame of their defeat. General Kale Vorath, once confident in the invincibility of the Threxian Empire, now found himself questioning everything he had known about his civilization's superiority. Kale stood on the bridge of the Dread Star, gazing into the depths of space, his hands clasped behind his back. He was a soldier, a warrior accustomed to victory, but now he felt the weight of failure pressing down on him. Earth had proven to be far more than just a primitive world. It was a force that could not be underestimated. The Emperor will not take kindly to this defeat, Villery said, his voice breaking the heavy silence. We've failed him, General. The Empire's pride is shattered. Kale's gaze hardened. Failure is temporary. The Threxian Empire is not built on weakness. We will return, and when we do, Earth will regret this victory. Meanwhile, on Earth, the mood was different. Earth had won, but the cost was high. The battlefield, once filled with chaos and destruction, was now eerily quiet. The remnants of the Threxian forces lay scattered across Earth's surface, their ships smoldering, their technology in ruins. President Kira Thorne stood at the command center, her expression somber as she watched the aftermath unfold. The victory had been hard fought, but Earth had proven itself capable of standing against the might of the galaxy's most powerful empire. However, Kira knew this was only the beginning. We've done it, General Hawk said, his voice filled with a mix of pride and uncertainty. But the Threxians won't let this go. They'll come back. Kira nodded slowly. I know, and when they do, we'll be ready. Earth will never be a victim again. In the wake of the Threxian invasion, Earth began the long process of rebuilding. Cities that had been reduced to rubble were slowly restored, and life began to return. Too normal. But there was an underlying change in the era, newfound strength, a new sense of purpose. Earth had fought and won, and its people were no longer willing to accept the status quo. Across the planet, a new generation of leaders began to rise. People who had once seen Earth as a backwater world were now starting to look at the planet with a new level of respect. Earth was no longer just a planet to be ignored, was a force to be reckoned with. President Kira Thorne, her voice steady and confident, addressed the global population once more. We have shown the galaxy what Earth is capable of. We will not be dictated to, and we will never bow down to anyone. This is just the beginning. The galaxy is vast, and we have many challenges ahead, but we will face them on our terms. The crowd erupted in applause, their voices unified in a show of strength. Earth's people had found their voice, and it was louder than ever. Back in space, the Threxians regrouped, their empire fractured but far from defeated. The Emperor, furious at the failure of his forces, seethed in his private chambers. His eyes glowed with the intensity of his rage. We were humiliated by a primitive world, the Emperor growled. This will not go unpunished. Kale's failure has cost us dearly. We will return to Earth and make them pay. The Emperor's commanders, standing in the shadows, knew that his words meant only one thing. The Threxians were planning their next move. The defeat at Earth had sparked something inside the Emperor, burning desire for revenge that would drive them to unimaginable lengths. The Threxians would not be defeated so easily. Kale, now back in the Empire's capital, was called before. The Emperor, you failed me, General, the Emperor hissed. But your failure will be forgotten. We will rebuild our forces, and we will return to Earth, and when we do, Earth will not survive. Kale bowed his head, knowing the weight of what was to come. Yes, Emperor. Earth will be ours. Back on Earth, President Kira stood before a holographic map of the galaxy, her hand resting on the table. The stars above seemed endless, a vast expanse of unknown possibilities and dangers. Earth had won this battle, but Kira knew that the galaxy was full of forces far beyond their understanding. But Earth had proven one thing: it could survive, it could fight back, and it could thrive. No longer would Earth be the weak, ignored planet at the edge of the galaxy. Earth had awakened, and the galaxy would never look at it the same way again. "We've faced the most powerful empire in the galaxy and survived," Kira said, her voice strong. "We are no longer a target. We are a force that will define the future." Her eyes narrowed as she stared into the vastness of space, knowing that more challenges awaited. But this time, Earth was ready. The story of Earth's struggle had only just begun. The Threxian Empire, though defeated, would return, and other galactic powers would soon take notice of the power that now lay in the hands of Earth's people. Earth was no longer a pawn in the galaxy's game, it was a player, and the galaxy was about to learn what it meant to challenge Earth. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: Earth had found its place among the stars, and it would never be underestimated again.